now going to touch the pad. Everybody in the world fused. Yeah. Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. And I've got the gorgeous Tool Girl Lilli.
Hey guys, nice to be back.
She's here in the workshop to give us a hand, but believe it or not, I'm sort of helping her today rather than Lilli helping me, because believe it or not, we're doing Lilli's car. Lilli has, and I've written down on a crib sheet, she's got a 2006 Mazda Axela, which is a 2.3 litre four-banger. And you've had the car, it's about 3 years now, haven't you?
Yeah, around 2.5 to 3 years.
And it's had a very hard 3 years abuse with this young lady.
Driving.
Hard. You like driving hard. The car was pristine when she got it. It had done about, what, 20, 30,000 Ks?
Yeah, first New Zealand owner, imported from, overseas.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, how many Ks is it now? Any ideas, roughly?
I think near 120,000.
Oh, wow.
But I was driving from Whangarei to Auckland every weekend.
That's a good run.
Just raking up
it's
the
a good,
mileage.
It's a good racetrack, is that one, isn't it?
Yeah. The Bradouans.
Over the hill, those tight twisties.
Yeah.
In fact, I was coming south from there a few weeks ago, and there's a long climb where it's an 80 zone. The cops are always there getting you. And then as soon as you go over the crest, it then turns to a real tight twisty section. And I was motoring on and came over the crest, and there was just stationary traffic everywhere.
Oh, no.
It was like the worst possible place for there to be a traffic jam. So now I slammed all on, looked in my rearview mirror, and there was a massive truck behind me, just coming over the crest. And I thought, well, hang on a minute, I'm not going to hang around being the guy at the back of the queue if that truck can't stop, because I'm going to be his I'm going to be his crumple zone. I don't want that. So I just sneaked past about 5 cars. And stopped a bit further down. Thought, well, they can all have an accident. I'm not going to get crunched. But as luck would have it, he did get stopped in time. So I sort of sneaked my way back in again. It was all good. But we got further down the twisties after the cops. We were there 45 minutes waiting. And then they ushered us down the road. And sure enough, on one of the tight corners, there was a white BMW just parked on its passenger side door.
Oh, no.
In the middle of the road.
Oh.
So whoever's car that was, well done, mate. Fantastic bit of driving. I did hear from a friend of a friend of a friend. They sort of knew who it was driving. There was a bit of a race going on.
Oh.
Yeah, they were racing. So, peak traffic, bank holiday weekend, racing. It's never a good idea, is it? So, for everybody else, be safe out there, because these roads, especially here in New Zealand, on bank holiday weekends.
Yeah, especially with Christmas coming up.
Yeah, they could
busy.
Well, busy, and I don't know, drivers just seem to, some drivers, not all, they just seem to turn off that sensibility monitor and just act daft and drive just that bit faster, and I can't quite weigh it up, you know. If you're on a bike, then, bikers are different, but for car drivers, when there's lots of cars around and big trucks, it's not good. Okay, so better get on with the job in hand. We've got Lilli's car here, and it's well overdue a service. We've popped the bonnet, had a quick squiz round. I had bought an air filter for it. Doesn't need an air filter, it's got a pod filter, because that's the kind of girl that Lilli is.
It's only got a pod filter. Everything else is
everything
pretty
else is standard.
standard.
Okay, I believe you. So you've not had it rechipped or anything like that?
No, everything's good.
That's next week, she says. So just chuck us the air filter across, because we may as well cover the part number in this video, even though we're not going to bother fitting it. So if you want to show the people, as Eric would say. So you've got a part number on there. That is the original air filter that should be fitted to this car, which in this case isn't, because somebody's ripped out the airbox and put a pod filter in. Yeah, I'm never a fan of that.
This is the car.
The car's just down there, yeah. Yes. It's sort of half in and half out of the garage, because my workshop is too small. It's too full of gear.
Just the job.
Okay, so we can bin that. That's going to go back for a refund. What else? Oh, we can cover the belts. I also ordered the serpentine belt for the same car. And it really put the car, there you go, look, there's the part number for that. We've had a little squiz with a torch, and if the belt on the ribs, and the ribs are the inner bits, all the little lines inside, if they're showing signs of cracks, let's turn it around to one side. There you go, look. If any of these little ribs here, very good. See, that's me concentrating, trying to be technical, and like, hey, camera, So if any of those little ribs in there have got cracks, and you can see them as it goes around one of the pulleys with a torch. Any of those cracks, here in New Zealand, that's a warrant fail. It needs to be changed, but Lilli's car is just fine. So another job that I don't need to do on this car. Send it back for a refund, and that was, I don't know, about $65 plus GST trade for the serpentine belt, which I thought was pretty good actually. And the air filter was a boat that was so cheap. It was about air filter $16.47 plus GST. So really cheap. Obviously, if you're buying from Repco or buying, you know, through a garage, they're going to charge you a lot more than that. So in this video, just go and say it, Andy, hurry up.
Andy, here we go.
Yeah, okay. In this video, what we're going to do is fix some new spark plugs. Now, the OEM plugs are NGK, and the part number, the Iridium plugs, they're extremely expensive. There we go, look. And it's probably got the original spark plugs in from new. These usually do about 100,000 kilometres. It's done 120. It's probably most likely we'll need them changing. If we pull them out and find that they're absolutely mint and there's no sign of wear and they look pretty new, then we won't bother fitting these because, you know, what do they cost? They were quite expensive, what they were, look, you see. So, NGK Iridium plugs from my friend down at Auto Parts, Coastal Auto Parts just down the road, and they were about 120 bucks plus GST. So they are quite expensive.
Yes.
So if we don't need to fit them, then this video becomes completely pointless. The day is gone from being bad.
No, we need something to do.
Because Lilli was a bit late today.
I was late.
Yeah, Lilli was late again.
I've perked up. I wasn't feeling
I've
good.
sort of... It's Tool
I could
Girls.
have not been here.
You had Tool Girlitis. That's what you had.
I did, but I turned up. I'm the reliable
You did.
one who still
You're here, and you didn't let me down.
And you cancelled on me last week. So it's your fault.
I did, but only because my boss, because I have a full-time job, some of you know where I work, my boss said, Andy, you have to go to Dunedin on the Friday morning and work there until Saturday night.
Fair
And we were going to, I think we were going to film on the Saturday, weren't we?
Yeah, we're going to film on Saturday.
So yeah, I ditched you.
I probably may have potentially called in sick the next day anyway because it would have been a hard night out the night before. So it's good we
now it
postponed
comes out in the wash.
Well, it was good that you
God's
approached
sake,
me
you have a
and
lot
said-
of hard nights out, don't you, girl?
Well, I have
Self-induced
to do
trauma, I
some
think.
ambassador work.
Yeah, is that what you call it? Yeah. Half a bottle of vodka later, I reckon. Okay, so anyway, those are the spark plugs. Beware not to drop them anywhere, because otherwise if you do, you're going to break them. So we'll place them back on the bench nice and tidy. Now, this car has got a turbo, and it's also got an intercooler. And unfortunately, the intercooler has been placed in a position which completely blocks access to the spark plugs. Well done, Mazda. Excellent job. So what we need to do is remove the intercooler completely to dig our way down to the spark plug coils, the spark coils, and then remove those and dig our way right down to get the spark plugs out. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. We'll do this.
Let's do it.
Coolio. Okay, Lilli. So intercooler, just here. Look. In fact, you stand this side because otherwise I completely block you from the camera.
Right.
Okay, so intercooler. We're going to need to remove this. So by the looks of it, and I've never worked on one of these before, so it's always, you know, it's sort of a learning curve for me as well. We've got two 10mm bolts here. So if you get the little Makita power tool, set and draw down. Sorry, from the bottom. Set and draw up. It should be in there. Look.
This one?
That one. That's it. Yeah, you need that. If you grab that and a 10mm socket. And just while you're on, can you see up on the racking? There's a little tool tray up there, a little parts tray.
Yes, yeah.
Grab that, that's magnetic, and that'll, you can put all the bits and pieces in there, you see. So you can pop that on top of your battery box. There we go. And you'll be in lefty loosey. Here, look, we'll swap sides again.
Where am I going?
There you go. Right, so buzz that one out. That's it, fantastic. This is where we get to find all sorts of dead birds and things stuck in your car, you know.
Exciting, they probably will be.
Right, so.
My long travels.
Looks of it, that's just going to...
Slip off. Wow, just by two
so
bolts.
easy. Right.
Oh look, we've got a few bumblebees.
Yep, we've got Bumblebee.
We've got some... Yeah. Oh wow.
Cool.
There's two.
Nice.
Look at that.
Maybe
I've
wasps.
got a collection.
That's lovely. Good job. Okay. Right, so we've got bolt, a stud with a nut. We've got some piping around this side here, which we're going to have to undo.
Okay.
We've got another one down there. It's getting more and more complicated by the second, isn't it? Okay, so we've got one there. We've got another pipe here to take off. So there's 3 pipes there. One at the back.
Goodness.
Another stud there. And I think...
What's that silver stuff? Is that like a heat?
Yeah, it is, down the back.
Heat type.
Yeah, that just stops all the heat going into the cab, hopefully.
Right.
Into the cabin. Right, so where are we going to start? Well, I think we need to undo the pipes first.
Okay.
And then we'll do the bolts last.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to want that one there's, again, a 10mm, I think. You probably, maybe a star screwdriver, actually. A posi screwdriver. Like that.
Oh, I see.
Can you see down there?
Yeah, just loosening the clamp.
Yep. You undoing or doing up? Looks like you're doing up.
I was doing it up.
You are now?
Now I am. Right. So I was doing it right initially,
You were.
but it was just a bit tight.
That's okay.
Must be.
Nobody ever complains about things being too tight. Come on then.
Of course not.
Right then.
Right.
So you shouldn't need to undo it all the way.
Nothing.
It should just be enough just to wiggle it off the bottom.
Yeah, that's no. That more?
Yep, a bit more. Is it actually turning the screw, or is it?
I
Oh, it
feel
is.
like
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yep. Oh, I can see there. Look, you got a big gap now.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a huge gap. So it should. That'll come off when it's loose now. We'll be able to, when we lift this off, we'll be able to take
Right.
it
I
off.
will just. Yeah.
Okay. So for this one here, we need a pair of long nose pliers.
Okay.
So we grab those, and then you can just
Pinch
pinch those together, and then we should be able to pull that pipe off. We've got to remember where all these pipes go. There we go. You can leave the clip on. That's it. You got it? So we'll tuck that down there out of the way.
Cool. That one there.
And you should be able to do the same with that one there. It's quite a much bigger clip, but they should still work.
Is that gonna work?
Should do. A bit fiddly, but it should work. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to build it straight on.
Yeah, I think so. A lot more tension.
Oh.
So when you get it loose, just try and move it down the pipe a little bit.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest way of doing it.
Oh.
No, oh, you've been very building those pliers.
It's just because I'm trying to hold it square on.
Wonder if these will stretch far enough.
Oh, that's a better. I was just trying to hold that little thing square with the little. Yeah, that's a better nose for it.
There we are.
Awesome.
See?
Cool.
That's the old experience thing coming out there.
What's this coming off for?
Give it a wiggle. Yep, it should come off. It should only have air in it, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
There we go.
There you go.
Right. Okay, so that one's loose, that one's loose.
Also.
I think now all we have... Oh, we've got one at the back. So same again up there, if you want to loosen that off. Yeah, it should be enough.
Enough.
Yeah, you shouldn't need to go too far with it.
Slightly. Oh, don't know.
They're normally quite tight, but the actual hose
seems
itself,
quite
but
strong on that.
there we go.
Right, I see. So they
It's just stuck to the rubber, that's all.
Stuck to the rubber, yeah.
Oh, you're getting it.
One more. What's that noise? Can you hear it? It's like sound like air.
Oh, maybe you might still have a bit of pressure in it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know why that clip's not actually
Going down and around. Hey?
still stuck on.
Do I need to?
There we
Oh,
are.
I see. It was on the rubber.
That's it. It was stuck on the rubber.
Can you get like a flat head to go down there or something?
Just to wiggle down the pipe between the pipe and the aluminium, just to help it to break free.
Oh.
There we go. try and bring it around this side of it. How's that? Has that freed it off enough? Mind your fingers.
Nearly.
Start chopping your finger. Because you'll curse.
Yeah.
And then YouTube will get really upset.
Yeah. I feel like my wrist is... I think it's just the angle.
Yeah. Angle of the dangle.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Oh, there you go. Male strength just...
Right, that'll come off when we actually lift
it out. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you need your little gun back, your impact wrench. Where do you hide that? So you've got that one, and then one at the back. Don't drop the nuts or the washers.
Oh goodness.
Fantastic. Right, there's your parts tray.
Oh, is that there?
Stick them in there. One there, look.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. And then one right at the back.
Cool.
Perfect. Okay, we'll get rid of that for a second. Now, if you watch that rear pipe, that should come off. And as I lift this front pipe up, this front section, that the lower pipe should. Although I think we've got the same problem we had before with the rear one. The clamp's so stuck to the...
Oh.
There we are.
Right here?
Maybe. Yeah, where's the flathead? There we are. Cool.
Yeah, it hasn't come off in a while.
It hasn't. And of course things get very hot here in New Zealand,
Yes.
so everything sort of bakes together.
Yeah, yeah.
There we are. Right, so I'll do the same thing. I'll wiggle the screwdriver around the pipe a little bit just to free it all off. Obviously you don't want to split the pipe. You want to make sure you're using a screwdriver that's not sharp.
Don't want to cut into it.
Yeah, jeez. It's whistling. When I put my foot hard on the gas, it whistles now.
It's
It's not as powerful as it used to be, Andy. Right, so I'm free.
Okay.
See if your wiggles
I'm
out.
up there.
You good?
Yeah, and here we go.
Look at that.
Should
Fantastic.
I? Oh no, that's built. Oh, that's like built-in.
Yep.
Right.
Cool.
Awesome. And there they are.
Brilliant stuff.
Cool.
Yep, so we've got coilovers. So each one of these is an ignition coil.
Yep, and then the
And
spark sits below.
Right down the bottom. So the next job is to unclip each of these plugs.
Right.
So you've got to press the little tab down and then pull it back. You've got the only one that's really tight, haven't you? So there we are.
No, probably not.
There we are. So you must
Just no strength.
Well, I think if you push it back on and make sure you push the tab down.
Oh, okay. I was
first.
pushing in closer.
Oh no, it's
I wasn't
right at the
pushing
back.
the end.
There you go. Try
right.
again.
Yeah, I was
You are
pushing.
genius.
I was pushing closer to. Silly lady.
Honestly.
Don't do that.
Right, now before we take these out,
Yeah.
because they're pretty much all the same, we're going to need, there's an 8mm, that looks a bit on there, so you have little 8, you can buzz those bolts out. What we'll do, because I don't like to mix them up, they're all the same,
Yeah.
I don't like to mix them up, so we're just going to, this is cylinder number 1.
Oh yes.
Oh, something that already? No, bit of dirt. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Cool.
Not that it makes a difference, because they should all be good.
Yes.
And you should be able to fit them anywhere
But
you
you
want,
want to put it back into the same.
I prefer to do that, yeah.
Just don't like.
So is it an 8 or is it a 7? I don't know. Let's give it a try.
I think it might be. Oh no, it is an 8. Ooh.
You got it?
I thought I dropped
didn't
it.
drop it. Oh.
I didn't drop it. It just magnetized, and I did that, and I thought it flipped off.
They're actually really cool, the little
It's
tool
good,
trays. I've
eh?
had them for
Yeah.
years, yeah. So now, what we can do is we can remove the coil packs, and to do that, you want to grab hold of it really tight,
Yeah.
give it a wiggle. Oh man, it just falls out.
And it just. Oh,
That's
wow.
easy, isn't it? Now, just to be sure, if we find any oil residue on these,
Yes.
it's an indication that the rocker cover gasket's leaking.
Right,
And that's bad, because if it's running down here, it could actually cause a misfire on that cylinder.
Yes, yeah.
So we'll pop those on the bench. You can pull the other
But
ones out.
that's good to know.
Oh yeah. Just all these little things you got to keep your eye open for when you're working on a car. That's
Yeah. Cool.
Excellent. Yeah, all good?
Yep, I think so.
Lovely and dry. Perfect.
Nice.
Eric would be very happy with those. Okay, now somewhere right down there are some spark plugs.
Yeah,
it's right, that dark dingy place.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here's a torch. Have a little look.
Yeah,
See what you can spot.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, if we find any oil residue on these,
Yes.
it's an indication that the rocker cover gasket's leaking.
Right,
And that's bad, because if it's running down here, it could actually cause a misfire on that cylinder.
Yes, yeah.
So we'll pop those on the bench. You can pull the other
But
ones
that's
out.
good to know.
Oh yeah. Just all these little things you got to keep your eye open for when you're working on a car. That's all.
Yeah. Cool.
Excellent. Yeah, all good?
Yep, I think so.
Lovely and dry. Perfect.
Nice.
Eric will be very happy with those. Okay, now somewhere right down there are some spark plugs.
Yeah,
it's right
I
in that
can
dark dingy
see.
place.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here's a torch. Have a little look.
Yeah,
See what,
I can
see what you
see
can spot.
the. Yeah. Can see the.
Right, I'll do a little freehand. It's impossible. Right, okay, I'm coming in with the camera.
Sweet.
In fact, I might even put the flash on the camera if I can work it out on this one. Yeah. There we go. Right, I'm coming in. Dum 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 dum. Oh, there we are. Look. So that's spark plug number 4 hiding down there. 3 looking very clean and tidy. 2 and 1. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got to find now a socket that's going to fit those. Now, we could just try putting a socket down on that spark plug, but it's a bit ambiguous and it's a bit hard to tell. So we can use the new plugs in the box to match up the right socket. Little trick.
Yeah, clever.
Okay. Right, back to the bench. Okay, Lily, we've got. Do you want to grab a plug out of there for us?
Yep.
And we'll take a little look and see what size they are. Now remember, don't drop it on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember I was doing a video lapping a valve in with Tool Girl Lilli, and she kept dropping the valves on the bench. And
Oh no.
inside, I was screaming. But I couldn't. Okay, so it's pretty small. There we go. Don't drop it. No, I'm not.
Extra hand just in case.
I haven't got time to go and buy any more. Okay,
So
right.
dirty.
And try that socket. So just see if it'll pop into. I'll hold the socket. Then other way.
Other
That's
way.
it. There you go. Does it fit? Does.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to push in because there's a bit of rubber in there to hold it. So you can push it in if you want.
cool.
There we go.
Right.
So it shouldn't fall out. He says. There we go.
Awesome.
And it's not a 10 tools.
sound too
Brendan's going to kill me now. But it's actually a 16mm. Okay, on a 3/8 spark plug socket. So we've got what we need. We've got the tool.
Right.
So if you grab that, and we'll get an extension bar.
Cool.
We'll stick the spark plug back in the box for now because we may not need it. We don't know. Okay. Back to the car. You got what we need?
Got it.
And we might need a longer extension actually. Tell you what,
really?
I'll give you one of these. It's got a bit of a wiggly thing on the end, so you try it on that one. And we'll use a ratchet. We won't use your gun
Okay.
for taking
Right.
spark plugs out because that'll be really bad. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Jeez, honestly. So you've got to start on number 1.
Yeah. Is that the right way? Hey,
Let's have a
loosening it.
little look. Yes.
Yeah.
You're good to go. I have to do the same thing as you. I have to actually turn it to see which way it's going to go.
Is it then?
So you'll feel it go on the plug and then it should just
yeah,
drop down
yeah,
on that
yeah,
rubber,
yeah.
holding the plug in place. And it's hold your ratchet right at the end so you get more torque.
Oh.
And tight.
Oh,
Oh
goodness.
golly. Right, okay, that's good. I'll crack
Do
it
you
off
want
for
to
you.
check if it's on? I think
Oh,
it
it's
is.
on.
It is, though. You can feel
Yeah.
it.
It's definitely on if... Right, here we go.
Oh, I see. So they're quite tightly done
There you go.
initially. For a lady.
I'm not saying anything because whatever a guy says, we always get misinterpreted, you know?
You do.
It's a no-win situation to
Strategic
chaps.
thinking, yeah, with the words.
And a woman never says
You
what
gotta
she's
be
thinking.
careful.
Doesn't.
Is that loose me? Yeah. Just
Yep.
keep going.
Yep, so you can actually spin it
Can I
all around
just
if you want.
do
Yeah,
that?
so you can take the ratchet off.
Just
There you go.
Cool.
That's it. And that's a good sign that it's nice and easy to take out. It means that
Yeah.
the threads aren't corroded and stuff.
Oh, good. Oh, we're looking.
Oh, cool. Look at that. Blink. Okay. Right. Okay. It's not an NGK plug.
Right.
All right. I'm a bit dubious about whether it's even an iridium plug, so we'll have a little look.
Right.
I don't even recognise the brand. It's a FOMOCO. That sounds pretty cheap and dodgy to me.
It does sound like a bit.
Oh, it's made in Japan. All right, it is made in Japan. It says it around there. Look, Japan.
Oh yeah, Japan.
All right, so it's just redeemed itself somewhat. So we'll have a little look. We'll pull them all out. There
Japanese better than Chinese or something.
Oh
hey?
man,
Yeah.
don't get me started on that.
Yeah. Right, I'll put this on and then I'll get
Yeah, we'll take them all out. We'll take them all out and we'll have a little look.
Okay. I'm gonna do this one.
Are you sure? You reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
You see?
yeah.
Beautiful. Don't like to be beaten, do you?
No.
No.
Especially if you challenge me, like, you reckon?
Oh, really?
Don't challenge me, I have to do it now.
I'll remember that. I'm going to use that to my advantage.
Yeah,
at
you're
some
going to
point.
do it now, eh?
Yeah.
Make me do all the shitty hard job.
Yeah. I like it when tool girls work on their own cars because I don't have
It's
to do as
fun.
much.
Yeah, no, that's fun. And we're learning at the same time.
Brilliant. So you pop that one out.
Oh.
I'll stick that on the bench. That's number
Cool.
2. Go on, Lily, you can do it.
I'm like, oh shit, I need to get this
You
one.
do, yeah. You were
Challenge
talking
me,
pretty
I
loud
have
last
to
time.
do it.
Yeah. There's a lot of threads on those plugs as well. They take a fair bit to get out, don't they? Which is good because it means there's plenty of aluminium down there not to, so the threads aren't going to ham over the years. Right, what have we got? Cool. Right, I'm going to squeeze past.
Right.
Coming through. Jeez.
Jeez.
God.
Careful.
I had a pie this morning. It's not going to help, is it?
Okay.
I had a pie this morning. Yeah. Because you were late, I thought I wouldn't get a pie.
Sorry.
Oh, did I say you were late this
You're
morning?
using that against me, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to feel so guilty. It's alright. I'll just reel some flavours in later on. Don't you worry.
Got a pie.
I had to pay for the pie though.
God, you got the pie.
Yeah. Normally tool girls will bring me treats if they're going to be late.
Yeah, true.
So
I'll remember that for next time.
You've not learned
when
that
I'm
yet,
late.
okay. I'll let you off this
Alright,
time, but
alright.
you know.
Food.
Next time you'll get reprimanded if you don't.
Food. So every time
It doesn't have to be food. Any kind of treat's fine.
Right.
Right, how we're looking. Okay, did not look too
I don't
bad.
know what we're looking for.
No, where's the spark plug? I'll talk you
What are we
through it.
looking for?
Okay, so the brand we've got, because it wasn't too clear on the previous camera, we've got one there, look, you can see it there, look. Try to get in focus. FOMOCO.
Moco.
Yeah, I've actually never come across these plugs before. Part number is ILTR6A8G. Whatever the hell that is. Okay, let's have a look at one of our nice iridium plugs. Let's open the packet. Okay. Right, so
Oh, it's got the
the
code
IL, yeah, ILTR6A8G. Cool.
Interesting.
Okay, so they are iridium plugs, like our NGKs. However, I don't know. I've never come across that brand before.
Yeah.
They aren't that new. They've done a bit of work. How worn are they? So if you look at the actual little
how do you
tip there,
tell
so there's the new one. So as they wear that gap
yes, I
gets bigger.
see.
The little hang on a minute, hang on.
I see.
Right. So sorry, it's going to be way out of focus probably, but as they wear that gap, we call it the spark plug gap. It gets larger because you get erosion on the ground electrode, which is this one here, the top one that goes right round. See that on this side here, it goes down there, and then you've got the positive electrode here, the centre one.
Right.
So as that gap gets bigger, it gets harder and harder for the ignition system to make a spark because it has to jump a bigger gap.
I see.
So the voltage has to be higher. It's not good. So the question is, with my terrible eyesight, yeah, Lily can help me. The Does it look slightly? It is quite a bit bigger, isn't it?
It is a bit. Yeah, you can see it's worn.
Yeah. It's got a fair gap on it. I wonder if we can measure it. Hang on. Let's get me feeler gauges out. We'll have a little look. Okay, so we've got we've got a 1mm feeler gauge here, and we'll just see. Okay, so it doesn't go in the gap. That's not, the gap's smaller than 1mm. So we'll drop down to 0.9.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's better than using your nail, isn't it? Your thumbnail.
Trying to get a ruler. Trying to measure half of
Okay, that's a 0.9. That doesn't fit. Hang on a minute. Bear with me, viewers. Bear with me. We'll get there. Right, 0.8. Man, it looked like a 0.8 to me, but it's obviously not. Right, 0.7. There we go. Right, so it's about, I would say about a 0.75. That's a little bit loose in there. Okay, new plug, 0.7. Does it fit? It does. It fits straight in. Okay, so there we are. Look, so the gap actually isn't that much different.
Right.
Really, hasn't. So these plugs, they look pretty good, Nick, and they haven't really worn much. So maybe they were changed at 100,000 Ks.
Right.
Maybe. Now you've paid for the service during that period.
Yes, it's had a service. I don't know.
Did you pay a lot of money? Can you remember if the spark plugs were changed or not?
I don't know. I can't remember if they were. I might. Should I check?
Customers, eh?
I'm going to check that.
Oh, have you got some documentation in the glove box? Oh, right. We'll have a look.
I don't think the spark plugs were done, though.
No. Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm not sure.
they're not perfect.
But they're in good condition, though. So
Yeah, they
they
are.
could have been.
I mean,
I think I paid around
for your last service.
$250 to $350 for a service, but I don't think he replaced the sparks.
The spark plugs.
I think he did the spark plugs, spark plugs, yeah.
Okay, another indication is if you look at the base of the insulation here, as the plug gets older, it usually gets a bit discoloured. The bottom of that insulation, you can see it's a little bit brown. Sorry, camera, I keep forgetting about you.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of brown residue, sort of. It looks a bit like rusting almost.
Yes.
Around that area there. Now, it's going to be your call because at the end of the day, you're the customer.
Right.
Now, if you weren't Tool Girl Lilli and this was just a regular customer car and it came in for a service, I probably would just put the new plugs in it.
You would?
Well, partly because I'm here to make profit.
Yes.
I'm here to make a bit of money.
Yes.
And the plugs that are in there, we don't know how old they are. They are a bit worn. They're obviously not new.
Yes.
And maybe the customer doesn't have any service history. They might have just bought the car and they want to start fresh.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But Lilli, the decision has to be yours because you're here.
Yes.
It's your car.
Well, we've taken them out.
Right. What do you want to do?
And we're doing the service, so we may as well just go ahead with these.
We'll put the new ones in.
I think so.
Right. Okay. Good call. And with these ones, they've got a taper seal, so it's not a crush type washer as well. So there's a very strict procedure in tightening those up. And fingers crossed, it should be on the back of the box. If not, it'll be on the NGK website, so we'll have a little look. But there is it could be like 90 degrees from finger tight. So there is a set procedure. It should really be in the box, so we'll have a look. So we're going to be fitting these plugs. They're an NGK Iridium plug. There you are, look. And the part number, again, is just there. Very slowly turn it around for you. Brilliant. Okay, now, there is some controversy over whether you should put copper paste on the threads, or like an anti-seize on the threads of a spark plug.
Yes.
Now, some mechanics never do and always swear they never have a problem. I always have and have never had a problem.
Right.
I always put a bit of anti-seize, just a little bit, on the threads because I have had issues in the past where spark plugs, if they've been in there for a long time, well, they seize in, and then when you try and get them out, they snap.
Oh, goodness.
And then you're really screwed. Yeah, I had a Nissan Patrol, a 6-cylinder, which I think it was number 5 cylinder. I tried so many times to get that spark plug out, and I just bottled it every time. I'm like, nah, it's too tight. It's too tight. It's staying in there. And we ran it for about 6 years, and we never took the spark plug out on number 5 cylinder. And it never misfired. It was fine. We were lucky, really.
Yes, yeah.
But if we had tried, it could have snapped off, and the vehicle wasn't worth taking the cylinder head off to extract the spark plug. So it would have just been driven around on 5 cylinders at that point. So, you know, for us, far better just leave that one in and not tempt fate. Basically.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to need a bit of copper paste, and then we can wind those in, and then we'll do that, and then we'll work out what we need to do to tighten them to the correct torque, because there might be a torque setting as well. We just don't know. We'll have to find out. Okay, right, back to the car. Right, so we've got the copper paste now. I'm just going to show you how to put a little bit on there. So only on one side, because it'll work its way around, and you only want a little thin layer. Don't put too much, and that's probably the maximum you'd fit. There's quite a bit on there. Okay. Right. So you can drop that very gently, not drop, drop's the wrong word, lower gently into down the tube. And in actual fact, take your ratchet off to start off with. I've got it. Take your ratchet off, so press the button. Yeah, lose the ratchet so you do it finger tight. Yeah. And you're just going to lower it down slowly. If you want a torch, you can have a little torch, see what's going on. Yeah. There you go. And you'll feel it sort of touch down at the bottom of the tube.
Yes, and then is that when I start threading?
Yeah, you should just feel it go into the hole where the spark plug fits. You'll feel it sort of naturally just drop in, and then you can just start to swing it clockwise. Yeah. And for now, we're just going to do it finger tight.
Okay. That's right.
Fantastic. So it says on the box, we'll just say it actually on here. It says put it in finger tight, which we've just done.
Yeah.
And then we're going to turn it a 16th of a turn.
Wow.
Pretty accurate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So a 16th of a turn, so that's a quarter of a quarter.
Is that so it's not too tight or not too loose?
Yeah,
it needs to be.
Yeah, you don't want to over tighten them because it'll damage the threads.
Quarter.
Yeah, so not a lot. So if you want, we can put them all in first.
Put them all in and do that last.
And then we'll get the hang of just tightening them up correctly. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I could stand here and watch you work all day long.
You've got the easy job.
I certainly have. Now, did you put some copper paste on? Jesus, see? Honestly, you just can't trust these mechanics these days. So just a little tiny bit. Yeah, sort of less is more under these circumstances. And don't get any on the end of the spark plug, where the electrodes are. That would be really bad. That'll do. There you go. Yep, so only on the threads. That's it.
Knowing my luck.
Yeah, you should be down onto 3 pots. You wait.
Yeah. Get halfway home like, Andy, I'm broken down. I did something wrong.
I'll be at the pub by then. I'll be like, tough. I'm not working there. You're on your own.
You're on your own. Call the AA.
Bloody tool girls. Jeez. So much problems.
Right.
Cool. That's it. Don't go mad because we'll do it with a ratchet later on. That's it. You can. I can hold that for you.
Yep. Oh, I almost forgot my copper paste again.
I mean, some people swear that they don't put any copper paste on, they put them in dry. Other people swear that you should put some on. I've always done it.
Yeah.
Never had a problem. Fantastic. Was that your stomach?
My stomach.
Oh man, I thought it was some wild animal outside. No. I thought we'd have bears in New Zealand all of a sudden. Jeez. So I take it you don't have any breakfast yet then?
I had breakfast, but not too much because I wasn't feeling too well.
Wasn't a full English breakfast then, was it? Bacon, eggs.
No, because I didn't want to be ill.
Hash browns.
No. See, that would have made me feel sick.
Yeah. Bit of black pudding.
Again, almost
black pudding's good. Have you ever had black pudding?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
So
cool. Yeah.
What end is the end?
Don't go beyond the threads.
Okay.
Yeah. Coolio. Last one. Now you see, if your car had a V6 or a V8 engine in it, or if it was a Subaru, or Subaru as they call them in New Zealand, then changing the spark plugs is much more difficult.
Right.
Because, you know, they're a lot less accessible. and it can be a big job,
see.
a really big
Taking
job.
off more parts
Oh
to
yeah,
get just to where you need to.
yeah, to the point where some people, like on a V6, they'll just change the 3 at the front of the, that they can see at the front, nice and easy, and they don't bother with the rear bank, which is terrible, really, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, for the car, yeah. Right, I've put those 4 in, so should I
Yep. So you,
ratchet or?
yep. So you grab the ratchet, and then we'll give them all a 1/16th turn,
Oh goodness.
and that's all it needs
because
because
it's
a taper seal. Well, I'll do the first one for you.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, you just show me what
All right. Yep. So
that looks like.
the trick, I mean, you can use a torque wrench, because torque wrenches will have a nice dial and everything, but most people don't have a torque wrench, and we're not measuring torque anyway. We're just doing like an angular turn. So the trick is to get your ratchet lined up with something that's straight, maybe the rocker cover on the engine. Okay. Now a quarter of the turn, the ratchet would be here, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So half is sort of 45 degrees,
Yeah.
and a 16th is 22.5 degrees. So we're only really going to about there with the ratchet. So all we need to do is bring it around, and it'll get tight real quick. And I would say that
I see.
is about 22. It's about a 16th of a full turn.
Yeah.
So that's that one done.
Awesome.
And it does get pretty tight. There we go. Look, pretty tight, pretty quick, because there's nothing to crush anymore. It's actually it's actually just a taper seal. So you can use the ratchet to get it lined up. So you're about square with the rock cover again.
Awesome. All right.
This is where your muscles start to tremble. There you go. That'll do.
That didn't feel too tight though.
Did it feel as tight as mine? Maybe you didn't do that one as finger tight.
Maybe I didn't do it as finger tight.
Oh, hang on, it's still loose.
It's really loose, huh?
Right, yeah.
There we
go.
Tight at all.
Right.
Okay.
It's going to fly out.
Yeah.
Okay. You really will break down. Okay, so you're ready now. There you go. So a 16th of a turn, or a quarter of a quarter. And then now you'll start to tremble. Now you will. Go on, you're lifting those weights now. That's it. Brace yourself. That's it. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So, it's going to be part of your engine now. Look. There you go.
Is it because I had the end? No.
No.
Just loosens
Sometimes they do. Yeah. So pop it down there. And again, what we'll do is we'll just check that. Yeah. Just give it a very ginger. And you'll just, steady. That's it. You'll feel it got tight.
Yeah, that's tight.
Cool. Okay. So align your ratchet again then. Yep.
Right.
Okay. So you're all lined up again. You're on cylinder number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to give it again about a quarter of a quarter's turn.
Out there.
Let's have a little look. Oh, I'd say maybe a little bit more than that. Let's just go. Yeah.
Oh, right.
There we go. That's definitely enough for that one.
Oh.
See, he just falls off sometimes.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, last one. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Still not quite finger tight. That is. Why is this?
You got it? You just got to walk it round sometimes. So you want to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. You there? Perfect. Okay. So it's tremble time again. Cool. I reckon you're there. You did it. Yeah, that was pretty good to me.
Right.
Perfect. So they're all in, and they've all been finger tight,
Awesome.
tightened up finger tight, and then we've turned them all a 16th of a turn.
Yes.
To make sure those spark plugs are sealed in. I think if you didn't look at the box, I think a lot of people would tend to tighten them a lot more than what they need to be tightened, because a 16th of a turn isn't a lot. I think they'd try and crank it more.
Right, and does that just damage the thread if it's too tight?
It can do. That's the big problem. Yeah, is if you damage the thread in the cylinder head, then you've got a major issue.
Right.
Yeah, it can get very, very expensive very quick. Yeah, and it's more not now, but when those plugs get taken out again in the future, because they're a bit over tight, then it might gall the threads. It might pick up on the threads when whoever's taking them out next, and then you have all the problems.
I see. Right.
Yeah, so it's a bit of an issue. You've got to look after you.
Careful with it.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we can do is pop back in the spark plug, the actual coils, the coilovers. This is number 1 cylinder. You want to pop that one in there. Now they were pretty easy to get out, so they should just basically drop down That's it. Cool. And then when you tighten the bolt up, it just locks it into place. Yeah. So number 2. So some of them, when you put them down, they actually clip onto the spark plug really tight.
Yeah.
These ones don't seem to do that. They have probably just, see if you look down the hole, they've just got a spring.
Ah, I see.
So there's no positive clip.
Yes. Yeah.
When you actually pop it onto the spark plug. So there's no point in trying to force it down. It'll just sit where it wants to sit.
Where it wants to go.
Cool, yeah. Right.
Cool.
And all we need as well are the 4 little screws,
Lucky
which
laugh.
I think you put in the tray, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so there you go. There's the tray.
These ones, I think.
Excellent. Damn, you'll be working down at the local garage soon. You wait.
Not many female mechanics out there, are there?
No, there's one. I know 1 or 2, but there's not many. They're always a good laugh.
I need a new job. I need a new career path.
Oh, I don't know. Spannering's not as it's not as glamorous as it's made
Yeah,
out
yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
It's not all Fast and Furious stuff, you know.
No, yeah. Put it in that one.
Yep, get rid of that. Cool.
Cool.
Right, so if you grab the small extension bar for us. There you go. Oh, your hands are filthy already, aren't they?
Yeah.
I didn't give you any gloves, did I?
No,
I'm
it's
terrible. I really am. Right. So these you just want to tweak up. Don't go mad, because they
Okay.
shouldn't be over tight. They're just to hold the coil packs in place. That's it. You got it. So the torque setting is probably something like 10 Newton meters, which is very, very little. Cool. That'll do.
That enough?
Yeah, that'll be enough. Excellent. Perfect. One more to go, Lily.
One more. Cool.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Right, just a few plugs, because we need to put the plugs
yes,
back
the
in.
plugs.
If we forget those, it's not going to start.
Right. One.
Yeah, make sure they click.
Yes.
And they're not going
Yeah.
to fall off again. Because there's a lot of vibration on an engine. It doesn't take long for things to...
Yeah. All the...
out.
Okay, I think we're good.
Brilliant. We all done?
Yep. All done. Yay.
Right, Lily, before we put the intercooler back on, we've got to bear in mind that as we drop it into place, we've got to feed that pipe on,
Yeah.
and we've got to feed that pipe on as well. Right, these ones can
That'll
go on
go on
later on.
after.
But these two are pretty rigid, so we've got to make sure that they actually feed onto the unions. And as we do that, we've also got to drop it down the 3 studs as well. So there's lots going on.
And then that will go on after. That will fit after.
Yes, yeah, that was like the first thing I think we took off.
Should
So.
I? It was under there still.
Yeah, I just tucked it out of the way. Yeah. Right, so if you grab the intercooler, I better come around this side, I think. So you can line that one up at the back. If you line up, so you want to go into you want to go into the pipe first.
Oh, the pipe first.
So if you lift it back off.
I'll just come around.
There you are. That works. That's a lot better. So we're just going to slide it down the pipe. We'll get your pipe in first.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, it went in so much easier than
Yeah. So if you keep an eye on that stud at the back. I'm just going to wiggle this one on.
Okay. I'm a bit off this side.
Okay. So the pipes are in. So we've got a bit of movement now. So where do you want it for that?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Man, we're good, aren't we?
We're good.
Look at that. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got, best thing to do first is to put the nuts back on.
It's 3, hey?
Yes,
3
there should be. Yeah, and there should be washers as well.
Just these guys.
Yeah, they've got
Connected,
integral washers.
Built in, like, one piece.
Right, so I'll sort the socket out.
Okay.
That's usually it was done, I think. Fantastic. Right, let's turn the power down a bit on this. There you go. So you can give it a little squiz with that. That's it. We'll go around and tweak them, you know, with a ratchet so we know they're proper tight. That's it. One more at the back. Is it too long a stud?
Yeah, the stud's
Oh, hang on. Didn't we use a long?
Yeah, we
used a long
had
reach socket, didn't we?
We did have this one. No.
Yeah, that's the starting one.
Yeah.
So what did we do with it?
Yeah.
You put it in the tank box.
Back in the box.
Just to confuse the crap out of me as always.
Right. Oh, is it from a different tool set? Right.
You don't say that on camera. All the tools are tang, obviously, yes. No, they're not really. Fantastic. Yeah, give them another tweak if you want.
Yeah, it's just that one stud that was
Perfect.
longer.
Okay, so that's nice and tight now. So we've got this rear clamp to dig out. We can tighten that one up. So that's going to be a Aussie screwdriver again.
Oh, screwdriver.
Okay, so if you come around this side.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, you'll need that for the other one. Yeah, be careful with your intercooler because what you don't.
Okay. Don't want to squash the fins.
If you bend the fins, then it's not as efficient.
Yeah,
so you go slower.
Right.
We don't want that, do we?
No.
No. Here we go.
Right, make sure I'm doing this right. Oh.
That's all right. I'll always round and tweak them all a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so there should be another one down there.
Okay, now get in there. How did I get in there last time? Can I swing it this way?
Well, you're trying to get the angle right, aren't you?
Yeah, can I do it here?
Yes, you can. You can put it, I think it was there actually before, and I twizzled it around trying to free it off. Yeah.
Which angle is
That's cool. And make sure it's running at 90 degrees to the pipe. You know, it's sat properly. So the same distance away from the end of the pipe all the way around.
Right.
So it sits nice.
Oh.
And you can always use a socket if you prefer. You don't have to use a screwdriver.
No, this one's alright. It was just the angle that was funny.
I wonder what size they are. Because they want to be nice and tight because remember you get quite a bit of pressure on it through your
Yes.
Just try that. So it is a 10.
Right.
Okay. So what if you want for both of them? I mean, don't go mad because they are only hose clips.
Okay.
But you can give them a bit of a tweak with that if you want.
Much easier.
It is, isn't it?
To get the angle too. Yeah, and it can tighten
so
up quite a bit.
I don't want to over tighten it. So that'll feel.
Right. Will that like cut into the rubber if it's too tight?
It can do.
Yes,
yeah, and
right.
also if you over tighten it, the clamp can break.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So give that one at the back a little tweak as well.
Oh, don't touch those. About there, hey?
Perfect. Right, Lilli, see if you can wiggle that pipe back on again.
Right.
It's a bit stiff, but you'll do it.
Just gonna bend it around.
There we go. Fantastic. Okay, now you're gonna have immense fun with the pliers, and you can see the marks in the pipe where it used to sit.
Yes.
So ideally, you want to try.
How did you?
In fact,
The other one.
I think it's sprung wider open, hasn't it now? So you'll need the long nose pliers.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Right, so you can get in with those.
It's just difficult doing it straight on just because of...
It is.
No,
it is. If you want, I can turn it a bit.
I can, oh.
Like that, you see? So you can go in.
Yes,
you could go in from the side of it. That's it.
I need to go more.
You can actually get proper pliers for these.
Yeah, I need to.
Tell you what, I'll have it. Should we have a go for you? Because
Yeah,
they are really, really quite difficult to get hold of.
Only because it's such a little surface to grab, you know?
Yeah, so we're about halfway there now. But you can get proper pipe pliers for these, but I don't have any. Ow.
Right.
Okay. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, so wiggle it up.
Awesome.
And then I would say it wants to go around a bit. Probably about there by the looks of it. Does that sort of match the marks on the pipe?
Yeah,
Doesn't It's not critical,
yes,
but it just looks a bit
trying
tidier.
to, yeah,
It looks like you made an effort.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, so we've got one more to do. Right, okay, Lily, last pipe. That's this little one here, look. See if you can pop that on onto that little outlet. So push it. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Don't be too rough because you don't want to snap the plastic bit off. Is that far enough on? I would just, yeah, if you release the clip and I'll push it a bit more on.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Brilliant.
Awesome.
Wow, factory finish. Great job. Okay, just an intercooler cover now.
Yes, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so we've got the cover.
Yep.
Now, if I remember rightly, that just sort of clipped on at the back. Can you see like a little lip under there? So that was just hook at the back, and then your 2 bolts at the front, aren't they? You got it?
Yes.
That's not going to lift at the back. No, you got it. Perfect. Right, 2 bolts. It'll stay in my hands, isn't it? Black as yours. Gee.
Interesting cover, only 2 little bolts. Oh.
Yeah. Right, there you go.
Awesome. Cool.
Bloody good.
Awesome.
Done.
Yeah.
High five.
It wasn't even that hard.
No, not hard at all. Just take your time, work your way through it.
Just need the guidance, you know. That's awesome. Thank you.
Easy.
Exciting.
Oh, it's not even level, look. I'm terrible at it. So slack today. Jeez.
Been a long week.
It has. It's been mental. And no, it's not cider. It's actually, that's how tired I am. It's actually water today.
He's lying, it's straight vodka.
You know what? I nearly bought a small bottle of vodka this morning.
Did you?
I did. I thought, but
would
you know,
have died.
yeah, because you're not feeling great, and I thought, no, I wouldn't inflict that on Tool Girl Lilli.
Next time.
Absolutely. Save those good things for later on. Okay, crew. Well, there you go. We've fitted some new spark plugs to Tool Girl Lilli's, what is it, 2006 Mazda Axela 2.3.
It's an MPS.
MPS. It's a manual 6-speed thing, isn't it? 6-speed manual.
Yeah, 2.3 litre manual.
Goes well.
6-speed turbo. I love it. It's like a little go-kart.
I prefer motorcycles.
Fair
honestly.
enough.
One day,
Fair enough.
have you been on a bike before?
No,
you must have been.
I rode once on an Ag 100.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you took out that. That's right.
And I fell off.
But
the
you must have been pillion on a few bikes. I mean, you come across to me as that kind of biker chick kind of.
I've done a few like motorbike shoots, but it's all I'm pretending to be the biker. I'm not actually the biker.
Jeez.
One day.
Okay. So what I'll need to do is borrow a bike from work. I mean, I've got my own, but I'll get a nice new one.
I've got friends that are into doing the whole cut bikes up, make their own
bobtail and
things.
choppers and yeah. I'm not into that either.
You're not into that.
I did one and the video got about 4 views. It's like, yeah, I didn't even enjoy doing it. So I mean, what's the point really? You do what you like, don't you?
Yeah.
But no, we'll have to get a bike and do a ride.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I reckon that could work really well.
Yeah. Okay, we should.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Put it on the
Can I
cardboard
hold them
list.
to it now?
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah.
You said we would.
Go for a ride. Poo Hoi Pub.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah, get the GoPros fired up.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Get some cool footage of us on the bike.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, we'll do a video on it.
Yeah, that'd be
for sure.
awesome. Cool.
Definitely.
All right.
Okay, so there you go. We've fitted the plugs. A few little helpful tips. One thing on these particular spark plugs, with them being iridium, they don't have, or this particular iridium plug doesn't have the crushable washer. It's a taper seal. Very important, on the NGKs, only a 1/16 of a turn after finger tight. That's what they tell us, and that's what we've done. So just be aware of that. Bit of copper paste on the threads always helps, because again, with the iridium plugs, they're in there for a long time, and you want to make sure you can get them back out again in 2 or 3 or 4 years time, which is probably what it's going to be. Easy, you know. Okay, crew, well, if you enjoyed the video, why not click somewhere up there on the subscribe button. You'll see a little gear icon turn up. Click on the gear icon, and then you can tick the box and turn on notifications, and our friends down at YouTube will send you an email just to pester you as and when I upload any new videos. And there's usually 2 or 3 a week, maybe 4, 5 if you're really lucky. And if you're very unlucky, there's no videos at all for that week, because Andy's not here.
Busy man.
He's somewhere else doing something else for somebody else, basically. That's sort of the way my life works at the moment. But when I get back, I'm full bore making more videos again for you. And I like to get them all out pretty quick. I don't have the patience. I'm too eager. I should keep a little store of videos and just release them when I'm away. But
yes, true. That's a good idea.
yeah, I try.
Get
But
them all out.
I'm too eager. Oh, they enjoyed that one. Let's get the next one out for them. They're on a roll, you know. And then I run out of videos, such as life.
Need to make more.
Yes, I need to make more. There's about 550 videos on the channel now. It's crazy,
awesome.
isn't it? And there's about 100 videos of Tool Girls in.
That is so cool.
It's very good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good
I went to Repco today actually to get. In fact,
you get recognised by people. Like, are you?
Yes,
oh,
I was on the stand yesterday, and 3 people came up to me, shook my hand. I forget all their names. Oh, Scott was one. Shook my hand, and said, "Andy, love the videos. When's the next one coming out?"
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Okay, all good. I said, "I'm making them. I've got Lily in the workshop tomorrow, which is today. I'm making more videos," and the big smile on their face as they wandered off. You know? So it definitely means something to some people.
Absolutely.
And I hadn't shaven either. I was quite sort of wild at the time, and they still recognise me, which is great.
Cool.
Yeah, good fun. Yeah. Also, there is a Patreon page which you can go to, and you'll find you'll be able to read all about the history of the channel, Tool Girl profiles. There's hundreds of photos up on there now for each Tool Girl profile, so you can download those. They're all pretty high quality images, most of them are. And you can also become a patron, and there's different tiers. I'm trying to. Oh, you've got your own Patreon page, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got my own Lilli Steel artist page, but I've got my Tool Girl tier there, so you can view me there. And if you want to see any of my other.
And you've done different tiers, haven't you, on yours?
Yes,
it's pretty well structured.
Yeah. Just so I sort of cover the different genres that I do.
Yeah. So I've done a $5 tier to start off with.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff going on, but I'll try and get it more organised at some point when I get a chance. Who knows?
I need to I need to actually follow your Patron so that I can see my Tool Girl things. You know?
Yeah, I think you do need to. I think so. I'm not sure because I can see it anyway. I don't know what you can see. I'm not very good at it really. But anyway, there you go. Better sign off because I'm rambling. Thanks for watching, and well,
you can also see us on Facebook, Instagram,
oh shit!
Google
I missed all that out.
And Twitter.
God, I'm useless. You can.
You did Patreon first.
You can find.
Right.
Honestly.
We
The
did
day
it the
is
other
just
way around
weird today, isn't it? Yeah, so you'll find me on all of those. However, first point of contact, if you don't mind, via the comments down on YouTube, and then that conversation can migrate off to one of those other portals. No problem at all. You can also send me an email if you want. I will try and reply. Sometimes I get some pretty complex diagnostic emails come through asking me what my opinion is. Again, I'll try. I can't guarantee it. Please don't get upset if I don't get back to you. There's only so many hours in the day.
Busy.
There really is.
Yeah.
Okay, crew. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
See you guys.
Over and out. And we get the flip up again.
Oh!
Really.